page or a person. Now, I don't really want to get into the technicalities of setting up the event at this stage. We can go into that later if we want. But there are basically two types of events you can have. You can have a private event where, say for example, Andy and I are going to schedule a meeting, and I do this quite often with people. I'll say, oh, let's hang out on Thursday.
One of the biggest challenges I've had in running this Google Plus Hangouts for entrepreneurs is the fact that I really struggle from a low bandwidth circumstance here where I live, and it makes it really hard for me to conduct a good hangout. But it doesn't mean that I'm not really keen on looking at Hangouts for tools and promoting it and understanding the relationship that Google has with its Google Plus platform, its YouTube tie-in and everything like that. I mean, well, there's some really good stuff going on here, and I believe that anybody with a business, whether it's online or offline, can really benefit from it. So look, I'm doing a few things as a workaround for getting the streaming aspect of it worked out, because I've seen what it looks like on those recordings, and I just don't like the quality, and I don't think it shows someone that's really interested in producing something that some of the quality that I've had to put up with is just not what I'm thinking is acceptable. It may be acceptable in our community here, but I do want to really go down the line of if I've got the problem, well, I'm going to look to try and find a solution for it for other people as well. So working with that, what I'm going to keep doing, so I just keep this community going with information and that, is that I'll just keep putting here little snippets I find on what it is good to run a Google Hangouts, just all information like that. I'm finding myself sort of heading into YouTube live streaming and actual streaming technology. I'm finding really, really interesting, and I think it's a big gateway to content producers, whether you're strictly online or you're an offline business. So with that, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to let this run with a snippet that I took out of an interview or a hangout that was done. I'll leave you all the credits and everything with the people, but Michael Hansen, and he's talking about the top tips and tricks for using Google Hangouts and especially event pages and everything. So with that, I'll get off, and hopefully this is good enough content for you to be interested in staying around for. All right, see ya.
Create an event, and just in the description I'll put something, chat about website development, chat about hosted Hangouts account or whatever, and I'll only invite that one person or maybe two people. That's a private event. Nobody else can get into it, and it doesn't matter whether I select the box that says this is an online event or any of the other options within the event page. If I only invite those two people or three people, it only goes to them, and it's a private event. If I select the public circle or the extended circles option, it then becomes a public event, of course.
Mick, can I take up a point that you just made? It's a very well taken point, and you just actually taught me to think about doing something that I don't do. When I have a private hangout, I will just invite the folks to the private hangout. But I like your idea of creating an event for that private hangout, because in that event, you can submit the agenda for that private meeting so that folks have an exact idea of what it is you're going to be talking about. Then you can also encourage, because you have created an event page, you can encourage folks to take notes and submit notes of that conversation, of that meeting on the events page. That is an outstanding tool, and I've never thought of it that way. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that.
Well, I've had a few events where I've wanted to collaborate with one or two people, and we're all on pretty loose schedules, and sometimes they're busy and I'm not, and vice versa. And there's a couple of calendar tools out there that I use where you can actually put 5 people into this calendar and say, when are you available, and we can all find a time that's suitable. But I find using the events in that way, say for example I want to chat with Andy about a particular subject, and I schedule something for next Thursday at 2 o'clock, and then Andy's in a meeting, so he says, can we reschedule? Yeah, no problem. I can even open up my Google Calendar to him so he can find when I'm available. And then moving on from there, just as you were saying, David, you can use the commenting section to make comments. You can add photos, you can update the event description, and let's say a week after you want to bring a couple of other people in. So you schedule the same event but add other people to it. So that can grow from a one-on-one conversation to a collaborative effort, and then maybe later out to the public.
As the way Michael has suggested that it gets done, is going to be one of the most powerful business communication tools out there. Companies, enterprises, not just the folks that we see on Hangouts a lot, but the enterprise world is going to embrace that private hangout as a means of communicating with a sales staff that exists around the world. Or there's just a lot of efficiencies in taking that approach, so that you cut travel expenses or whatever it might be, but you still have that opportunity to have that face-to-face communication.